welcome to a new episode of Navigating the Future of Malls. Today we have with us V. Muhammad Ali, who is the CEO of Forum Malls Prestige Group. Why are we doing this interaction? Because we want to talk about our show GRS, which delves deeper into the nitty-gritties of retail and what the future holds for retail here in India. We'll be discussing a few points. Before we start, I want to welcome you. Hi Ali, welcome to this episode.
Thank you, my pleasure.
So Ali, I want to understand from you how the role of malls have evolved here in India.
Well, actually malls came in a little late in India, and so did the brands, and so did the retail or organized retail, as we know. And we had the privilege of opening the first mall, one of the first malls in India, which is a mall not strata sold, with a multiplex, department stores, and all the other features that you have in a controlled environment, which is Forum Koramangala, Bangalore. We opened this mall in 2004, and we were working since 1999 to 2004. So it took about 4-5 years for us to finish that building. So that was one of the first malls, and a few others happened. So about 3-4 malls. But with the success of those 3 malls, there was a surge. There was an explosion actually of malls, and several hundred malls got developed in India. But if I have to speak about evolution, malls started off with convenience as a USP. So for every business to function, there has to be a USP, a value from a customer's point of view, the value that customers derive. So malls came in India, and I don't know about, I'm sure same other parts of the world, but speaking from an Indian point of view, malls came to India from a convenience USP. That is, everything was there. There was nothing new that was added. So you had retail, but there were some high streets which are very popular. So in Delhi you had Connaught Place, and then for food people go to Khao Gali, and for cinema you go to other places where the cinema halls are located, and they all kind of mushroomed in a certain area. Even in Bangalore you had commercial streets and brigade roads. In Mumbai you had Lincoln Road. So you had destinations for food, you had destinations for cinema, and you had destinations for shopping. So what malls did was they brought them together. They were same brands who were already trading, but they brought them in a controlled environment, which was a new phenomena at that time. So for Indians, it was the first time that you see so many experiences, and you don't have to go to multiple places. You don't have to shuffle an infrastructure. In our country, we all know how it is. So
everything came under one roof.
Under one roof in a controlled environment, which is, when I say controlled environment, it's an air-conditioned environment. You have public facilities, you have parking facilities, you have washrooms, you have air conditioning, and this weatherproof, and so on and so forth. So that's the controlled environment part of it. And all brands coming under one roof, along with cinema, food, and shopping. That's it. So this convenience worked very well, and the malls that opened in quick succession saw very rapid growth in terms of business and in terms of success, and hundreds of malls came. So just like in hotel industry, hotel industry went through that phase. Every product goes through that phase. First they started giving us bed and bath. Then they started adding TV. Now TV became a given, so they had to differentiate. So they started adding bathtubs. So then later bathtubs became a given. So hence they keep reinventing. So similarly, malls, the convenience USP worked for some time, and then suddenly there was a change in the evolution where malls took the role of becoming the entertainment centers, because of course there was a festive season, so you do your festive decor, and then there's Christmas tree. Diwali time, you do shopping, but then along that you also get entertained. Where shopping, and then people coined the word shoppertainment.
Yeah.
So you have shopping and entertainment, and you have bumper prizes, and you have these decors, and you have this Santa Claus walking around the mall, distributing gifts, and live music performances. So those things became the norm. So malls started competing. Who has the biggest Christmas tree? The one who has the largest Christmas tree gets the highest footfall. So next year there's a race. So okay, let's do a decor, and everybody started beating each other and competing with each other. And then some malls started creating platforms for live music performances. and then bringing in the pop stars and Bollywood performers to come and perform. And so that became the hub. So it was predominantly the entertainment and also shopping. So that's how it became for some time. And then, of course, there was a disruption. COVID happened, everything changed.
So everything was going in a full swing, and then boom.
Yep, absolutely. So it came to a standstill, and when we restarted, of course, today's malls and today the way people see malls has changed substantially. And what we believe is that as on today, people are looking at malls as avenues for culture that is driving them and immersive experiences. So anything which is immersive, anything that you can't get on your mobile phone. I mean, Netflix you can watch at home. Shopping you can do at home. Food you can order at home. You can eat in your own home. You don't even have to step out. Yeah. So, but those are not immersive experiences. I mean, watching a Netflix on your mobile phone or ordering food from Dunzo, Swiggy are not immersive experiences. You're taking care of your physiological needs. So anything which is immersive in nature, anything which is cultural, because even culture is immersive. To engage with five senses, to experience something with five senses. That is the new trend. So what's happening is there is a trend. So we just opened a 1 million square feet mall in South Bangalore with these USPs.
Okay.
With immersive experiences, with culture as a hero, food as a hero, where food is not the regular food but is immersive. So we are having a 50,000 square feet microbrewery along with 40 dining options. So that is immersive. I mean, 40 dining options and the anchor being a 50,000 square feet microbrewery. So that is a first. So that's why we came up with a phase 2 as far as Prestige Group's small business is concerned. And then we have a Center for Performing Arts, which is a cultural hub. It's a temple of culture.
Okay.
Where we have the state-of-the-art auditorium, 1,200 seater, with world-class amenities, sound, light, etc. Exclusively for live music performances or live cultural performances, theatre, play, along with everything else. So anything which is immersive, anything which is cultural, high engagement is the new phase, and that is where malls are headed. And these malls have an advantage over the malls of the previous USP. So we are seeing, because catchment is limited, so we are seeing there's a transition happening where people are choosing these malls, the bigger ones, with these immersive experiences.
But one more thing which I've observed early is that the malls are also concentrating upon sustainability in a big way. Why is it so that why malls are betting big on sustainability at this point of time?
I would say not yet. Not much has been done as of now. Of course, we have the wheeling of power, which we have, and everybody, almost all the malls have a power wheeling arrangement. But apart from that, and then of course we have, as far as water is concerned, the usage of utilities are concerned. So we have a recycling plant, we have water treatment plants. So we recycle about 80% of the water towards the chillers, because the air conditioning system is run with the recycled water. So water is there, power is there. So we have taken a few steps, but nothing that we can boast about or be really proud of. But having said that, the upcoming malls that we are building, and we also know some of the builders who are good friends, and they are building too. We are putting a huge effort as far as sustainability is concerned, as far as green initiatives are concerned. It's not an afterthought. That's the difference. Now, of course, the wheeling of power came in later. Malls opened first. The chiller plants, of course, by design, they use water. So it's also one of the best ways of using air conditioning, the other one being the dry type, which is very noisy and had its own nuances. So they were not designed for sustainability, but sustainability became part of it. They adopted sustainable measures. But now, as I speak, the upcoming mall of Prestige Group, we are designing the malls from a sustainability point of view. The brief to the architect is given with sustainability as the core center of our design theme.
What actually forced you to think that way?
See, that is life. So we have to remember one thing, that regardless of what is happening, at the center of everything there is this human being. It's us. It's the human connect, and we have this in our genes to connect with nature. It is an inherent property of us that when we connect with nature, when we come in contact with trees, plants, with water, with air, there's a positivity in us. So it is very essential for us to create these positive environments. Now, people work in offices, people work from home, people work. So at times it can really get you. And then you're sitting in front of this TV and spending hours, it can really get you. So you need these kind of environments, these natural environments where people come. And from psychology point of view, we have done so much research on psychology, that these elements, the natural elements, which are all part of the sustainability and green initiative, creates that positive vibe, creates that positive environment. It reduces stress. It makes you want to connect socially. It improves your social connections. It improves your mood. It reduces your stress hormones. It does so much positive feeling. So unfortunately, we don't have as many botanical gardens and natural landscapes within a metro city. But of course, malls can really take that space where people can come and experience all these positive vibes, along with shopping, along with food, along with entertainment. So that's definitely a plus. So hence, it's important that we get into this.
Wonderful. So, like, getting back to what you said, it's the third generation which is happening for malls for development. So I want to know, which are the categories that are picking up at this point of time?
Interesting question. There's a disruption happening. The disruption is coming in two aspects. One is the old categories who are transforming themselves. To give you an example, one is food. So food is becoming entertainment. People are spending money, time, and effort. Now we have restaurants in our malls. We have opened Forum Rex Walk on Brigade Road, which is a food-based restaurant. Food is the hero. We have 14 restaurants and cinema. Directors cut the best cinema experience that India has, along with 14 restaurants. That's it. There's no fashion, there's no clothing. Now, in that mall, we have some restaurants where people have to reserve days in advance to get a seat on a weekend. So, there's disruption happening, and it is not cheap. It is expensive. So, people are spending a lot of time, effort, and money to experience that food, go through that. The whole journey of it's just a food, it's a physiological need, but it's now an entertainment, it's now an experience, it's now a community building activity where you meet with friends, and then you'll be surprised with the numbers that is coming through. So there's a disruption happening there where experience is rising, where QSRs are losing value, and we are seeing the fine dine restaurants, the expensive food options are doing 3 times more business than the convenience QSRs that we used to have. McDonald's, KFC, and Pizza Hut. They used to do the highest turnover, but now it's not the case. Now the fine dine restaurants, the expensive restaurants, are doing 3 times more business than what these restaurants are doing. The American, QSRs are doing. So there's a disruption happening there. Second disruption is happening is in fashion. So the so-called stalwarts of fashion industries, I don't want to name any, all our good friends and partners, we are seeing that somewhere they are losing relevance. And suddenly there is this burst of D2C brands, direct to customer brands. They are online brands. They started, these are all startups, online brands, new brands, and they have got this trend of the customer, the consumer. Why? Because they are more focused. So there are a few brands who we have started giving space in our malls, and they are choosing a certain segment of customers and creating designs and products to that segment of customers. Okay, all girls between the age of 12 to 16. Imagine what a niche segment that is. And somebody has launched a brand, and that brand is doing 60 lakhs and 70 lakhs a month in a 2,000 square feet store. And then somebody else has invented another product for boys, and somebody else has invented product for gadgets. So now these D2C brands are creating niche. Otherwise, the old players, they have a general department store. You go figure out, you'll find something. Even if you don't like, you'll still make do and then still choose, adjust, compromise. And that's not happening now. Now there's going to be options. The general department stores are designing products for a larger audience. Okay. Boys from say 9 to 8, maybe 16 is the same category. Okay, or toddlers from 0 to 7 are the same category. But these D2C brands are finding niche and they're creating products which are connecting with this audience much faster, and boom, the sale is going somewhere else. So suddenly there's these D2C brands who are occupying prime spaces and they have suddenly reached a few hundred crore annual revenues faster than most of the big brands that we know. The time that these guys took, we have these young entrepreneurs who are reaching a few hundred crores within first year of opening. So that is actually happening in front of us. So that's a disruption. So I think these two categories are going to change the game as far as consumption is concerned. And it's happening all over the world, and it's happening in India, which is food, which is coming with experience and engagement, and then apparel and fashion, which is being designed for a very niche audience and hence more relevant and hence 10 times the business.
So, Adi, two questions from this thing, because I have seen myself when we go to restaurants, there used to be a time when they didn't used to be like specific cuisine restaurants didn't used to be there, but now there are specific cuisine restaurants, and the consumers are happy to try new things and adapt the taste also. First thing is that is it going to stay like that? Second question is, when you talk about D2C brands, are they going to replace the traditional brands out of the malls, or how is it going to be like in the future?
Specific cuisines will continue, or they'll become multi-cuisine. They'll definitely not become multi-cuisine. They will remain a specific cuisine. In fact, they'll go deeper in a certain cuisine. For example, we have Pan-Asian restaurants. And of course, there were Indian restaurants and then there were Pan-Asian restaurants. Now, within Pan-Asian restaurants, they offer usually cuisines from sushis from Japan and dim sums and momos, which are from Chinese food. And then they have this nasi goreng from Malaysia, and then so on and so forth. Now, it's going to go deeper. That means you're going to have Japanese restaurants, which is serving only Japanese cuisine. Then you will have Malaysian restaurants serving only Malaysian food, and then you will have pure Chinese restaurants serving only Chinese. In fact, now we have opened a Korean restaurant, a Korean barbecue restaurant in Forum Rexall. It's doing phenomenally well, and people are lining up for that experience. It's barbecue Korean, and it's only Korean. So if you ask other food, it's not available within Southeast Asia. So this is how it's going to happen. So they're going to go deeper and deeper, because that's when you can engage people, where you can really take them on a journey to a different region and then bring them back on the same table.
So second question was out of curiosity, are D2C brands going to wipe off all the traditional brands?
No way. I don't think so that will happen. What will happen is, it's an evolution. So of course, all the organized players and big boys, they are observing this. They will at some point in time buy out these D2C brands, and they will also adapt and create something new and different, and then they start differentiating, because they have two things. One is they have real estate, and second is they have funds. They have access to funds, and they have an experience that has gone in so many decades. So, but then this disruption is happening, and I'm sure they are watching this, they are observing this. So what they will do is they will adapt. The big boys will adapt, and then that's a different era. And maybe then some other different disruption will happen, and then that's a different story.
So, Ali, from your thing, you said you have opened a mall specifically where you have only food outlets and cinema. So, going ahead, can we see that specific category malls coming up here in India?
Yes, definitely, yes. There's a huge opportunity for that. There has to be a geographical advantage. So, if you are, today finding a large parcel in heart of the city to open a 1.5 square feet mall is a little difficult. So hence, most of these million square feet malls, as you can very rightly see, barring a few which have time advantage, they started off much early. But for now, for somebody to have a large land parcel in the heart of the city is impossible. So these million square feet plus will be in the outskirts suburbs. But within the heart of the city, with the location advantage, where in close proximity, if you have a small space And if you can differentiate, it could be with food, it could be with designer wear, Indian designer wear, which is very niche, which is very unique. The customer is different, and the time is different. The same customer might want to go to a 1 million square feet mall and shop in Zara, but at that time, when they have a reason to buy a designer wear, a festival or weddings, then they don't want to go anywhere else. So, designer wear is a niche category. Electronics is a niche category. Entertainment is a niche category. So yes, these can definitely happen and will happen, and there are a lot of opportunities. So we are building another food-specific mall, which is Forum Rex Park is 1.5 lakh square feet. In Whitefield, we are building a 4.5 lakh square feet food-only mall with 45 restaurants. So here we have 14. So, and then here it is 50,000 square feet microbrewery in Forum South Bangalore, but there we are planning to go to 100,000 square feet, 1 lakh square feet microbrewery in a food mall, which is 4.5 lakh square feet, 500,000 square feet mall. So yes, there is a lot of opportunity, but it has to have a location advantage, and it has to have a certain catchment, which is in close proximity, who will value that particular position.
So it is interesting to see how the consumer expectations are changing and how actually malls are evolving to match those changing consumer expectations.
We have no choice. I think we have to just follow what is happening, and yes, that's the way forward.
So I want to understand how malls and brands can collaborate together to actually think about the future of the retail and how it is going to be like.
Malls and brands can work together to increase the share of organized retail and to increase profitability, because we both are in the same space, which is the organized space, brick and mortar space. And one way to do that is data. So we start sharing data, which is currently not happening. So if we can trust each other and start sharing data, relevant data as and when it's happening, so we can understand the customer, because he's the hero. So mall developers are neither heroes nor are the brands. The hero is the end customer. And then we have those customers in our brand, in the mall, in the store. And stores are in the mall. That means that within a certain controlled environment, they are there. But the data is not there. So we have our data, but which is limited. So like we can say, okay, these are the number of people, these are male, these are female. Today cameras are detecting these are happy faces, and cameras are detecting hot zones and cold zones. They are visiting these stores, they are not visiting these stores. They went inside this store, and footfall detection and all that is there. But we don't know in terms of consumption what's happening. So if the brands can start sharing, okay, sports is selling more than formal wear, then we can start adding more sports brands, or certain categories are selling more. This is the audience which is coming. This is a young audience, and then hence we can start changing the mall accordingly. We can start doing events differently. We can start doing events for a younger audience. If younger audience is coming to a mall, then we can change the way we are doing a mall decor. We can start shaping the whole mall. But the problem is that data is not getting shared. So that is one. Two, both us and the retailers, we can use technology a little more. So there are a lot of technological innovations which have happened all over the world. And whatever innovations that have happened in any part of the world today is accessible to us in India. So somebody invented something in Singapore. Sitting in India, we can have access to him because he'll be more than happy to sell, because the world is the platform, the world is the oyster, as they say. So we can have access. If somebody has launched something new and interesting, we can connect with them and immediately start getting the services. So there's so much which has happened. We are not using that. So again, with the intention of understanding the customer better, serving the customer better. So we both can collaborate and invest in technology, which can really change the game, and we can see these trends as and when it happens, even before it can happen.
Looking forward to that actually. So Ali, my last question to you is, I want to understand from you what the future holds for the malls here in India.
It's a very bright future. We are the youngest population in the world. We are also going to be the fastest growing population in the world, which means that with success comes celebration. When people succeed, they naturally want to celebrate the success, and youth is, it's designed to celebrate life. So you can expect to have the highest number of shoppers in the world, anywhere in the world, happening in India. Rising income levels happening in India, which means the consumption also will be happening in India like nowhere else in the whole world. So hence, it's the brightest future. Retail is the way forward. Organized retail is the way forward. People are getting quality conscious, brand conscious.
And premiumization is another trend which I've observed.
That comes with quality. So if you have higher quality, of course it will come at a cost. So you buy a shirt, a cotton shirt, higher the yarn count, higher the price. So if somebody is selling a 300 yarn count shirt, obviously they'll charge you 10,000 rupees plus. So if somebody wants quality, you'll have to pay. So it's just a simple math. But yeah, that also goes with aspiration, that also goes with success. As and when people grow in life, they want more quality products, which are obviously more expensive products.
I'm hoping to see all the brands and the mall owners grow here in India and more brands to enter here in India because the scope is there as per Ali. Thank you guys for watching this episode. We'll be back again with a new episode. But let me remind you again, you have to be there at GRS, which is Great India Retail Summit happening in Mumbai on February 15th and 16th. Till then, bye-bye.